And we are live, Believe Nation. Happy Wednesday. Wednesday is my project day, so I spend the day working on important projects to move my business forward. I like having one day open per week that I just get to focus in on whatever I want to focus in on and work on. So every other day is usually jam-packed, and Wednesday is my freedom day to pick a project and go crazy on it. Today is YouTube. So I'm spending the whole day working on YouTube strategy, thumbnails, experiments. Spent the morning with my team talking YouTube strats, and now afternoon, not recording videos for the channel, but thinking more projects and strategies and experiments that I've wanted to do, but I just haven't made the time for it. So that's what my wences are about. Anyway, I'm taking my break from that to chat with you guys here, and I'm expecting a special guest to join us. This man is a legend. You guys are gonna love his story. So let's see if I see him in the chat. Not quite yet. So we'll give him a couple minutes to join. Otherwise, welcome aboard. Teemo at 6 p.m. We're back on Teemo, Devin. We're definitely back on Teemo. I have a gaming channel that I stream for 2 hours Monday to Friday. So yes, we're back on 6 p.m. If you join the gaming channel, I'll see you there. I see Terry in the house. Terry, welcome aboard. We're waiting on Jake. Let's see. I don't see him in here yet, but he's coming on hopefully soon. Anyway, welcome. Jake is running 5 minutes late. All right. We can chat. We can bring in some questions. Guys, you got a question for me? We wait for Jake. You guys don't even know who Jake is yet, but you're gonna be happy you stuck around for this one. Where do you live? Toronto, Canada. So we're in Toronto right now. It's cold now. It's crazy. We're having this crazy cold spell that's coming through the city. We're what, high of 15 degrees or something like that. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but that's where we're at right now. Anyway, yes, Toronto, Canada in the house. Most of my audience is American when I look at my YouTube stats, but I'm physically here. Where are you guys from? Hello from Venezuela. I love it. Welcome aboard. Tina says, how are you today? I'm awesome. Thank you for the love. I love the little emoji with the purple. Purple's now become my new favorite color because built to serve is purple too. Hello. Prairie Dodgers in the house. Yay, get to catch you live. Welcome aboard. Victor, much love, Evan. It's been a while since I've been back. Glad to be listening to you, man. Awesome. Welcome back, Victor. Great to have you here, man. He's running late. Sarah will be on in 5. It's okay. We'll chill with Believe Nation for 5 minutes. It's always a pleasure. And then we're gonna be greeted by a legend in the house. You guys are gonna love this one-on-one. I was diving into his story and I'm blown away. Anyway, stay tuned. You will not regret this conversation. It's coming up. What else? Quick questions. Bali in the house. Wow. South Africa, India. Wow. We got lots of people in the house. How's the family? Family's good. Nina is out running some errands right now. She's mailing off books. Part of the pros and cons of this is I signed, right? Like you can buy the signed copy of it, which was a great idea. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I have to sign thousands of books. And then Nina ships out the Canadian ones, and I ship out, and my team in the US ships out the people who buy from, I think, mostly around the world. But the Canadian ones Nina sends out. So she's off shipping some books to the Canadians recently who bought the signed copy built to serve. What else? Hahaha. Welcome aboard, Stephanie. Great to have you. Tanya, boss, Toronto in the house. I love it. Toronto in the house is fantastic. I was just on the phone with another Toronto entrepreneur. This is great. Who's the legend? Me? All right, Devin. Devin's got a lot of belief. I'm from Los Angeles. Welcome, Tina. I'm coming to Canada next year, September. Can you please help me? Awesome. Well, welcome to Canada. You're going to have a blast. Hopefully everything is solved and okay next September. Hey, Evan. Hey, Tanya. Welcome aboard. Victor, is it possible to vastly improve clarity? Oh, what was that? Clarity and memory in a short period of time? Model success, man. Like whenever you don't know what to do, you model success. I think clarity comes more from having the path of where you're going to go. Right, having that clear path for what you're going to build and where you're going to go, your sense of self, your identity, right, your most important core value, all that gives you clarity. To improve your memory, I think the biggest thing is honestly caring. There's some things that I remember so clearly, and other things that I don't. I mean, we don't remember most of the things that happen to us in a day, but the ones that you actually remember, the ones you have some emotional attachment to, you care. Jim Quick is your man for memory. a lot more than I am. But yeah, just actually caring about the thing. And just caring is honestly a good recipe for life, right? Like, we're about to bring on Jake when he joins in. I care about his story, so it's going to be a good interview. I care about the work that I'm doing. I care about what I'm about to do today, right? Like, if you wake up today and you felt like today mattered, you woke up today and felt like what you're about to do today is going to have an impact, is going to mean something to somebody. You're going to show up totally different than if you just say, that doesn't really matter, right? This is where people think that, well, I'm just lazy. You're not lazy. I don't think people are lazy. They just have goals that don't inspire them. You just feel like the work you're doing doesn't matter yet. And that's a big problem. So the world needs more caring. You need to care more for what you're doing. You got to care more for the projects you're involved in, care more about the mission that you're on. And we're going to talk to Jake about it. It'll be fun. Built to Serve, can I get it? Yeah, you just go, if you want the signed copy, you have to get it from my website, evancarmichael.com. If you want the regular copy, Amazon. Audible copy, audiobook. I read it myself. You can get it up on Amazon. Okay, well, let's see. As we wait for Jake, if you have some quick questions, pop it down here, and we'll do our best. Let's see. Oh, we got some questions popping here in the live chat too. I believe you must work at your dreams with everything you've got. Do you agree? Yeah, most of the time. I think 98% of the time, the answer is to go harder, to push more, to dig deep and not quit and keep going. And 2% of the time, you have to be more gentle on yourself. The difference is, are you proud of the reason? Like, if you're going to quit on something, you're going to stop doing something, if you're not chasing down your dreams, are you proud of the reason why? Are you proud of the reason why? And if you are, then that's okay, right? For example, we had, family members going through some terminal cancer right now, and I missed 2 weeks of filming content on one of my channels, right? We've got, 12 channels or something. And on one of my channels, I didn't have content for 2 weeks because I was with my family member who's struggling with cancer. So I didn't get the videos up like I wanted to, but I'm proud of the reason why, which is the biggest thing, right? If you fall short of your goals, are you proud of the reason why? And if you're not proud, then you got to double down and keep going and do more and work harder and get on it. And if you are proud, then it's time to be gentle on yourself. And that's something only you can answer, right? That's something only you can answer anyway. I see our chat. We're going to bring him in, have a great conversation.
Oh, hang on a second. Hey,
there he is.
What's up, man?
How you doing, Jake?
I'm doing great, buddy.
We've got a legend in the house, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know, Body by Jake has been the pioneer in the personal training fitness space. You've been doing this for how long? When was your first? When did you first become a public figure? Would you say?
Well, man, I was the first guy to do personal fitness training and made it an occupation in 1980 is when I started, man. I was 18 years old, and I had this dream. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. I was raised in Baldwin, Strong Island, and I was an overweight kid that had a terrible stutter growing up, Ev, and when I was 13 years old, and it changed my life. Not only did the weights build my body, but it built my confidence and self-esteem. And I had this dream to become Mr. America. And I was the first one in my family, by the way, I'm the oldest of four, first one to ever go to college. I went to college upstate New York. It's called Cornell University. You know Cornell? Mm-hmm. I went to Cortland, down the street.
Okay.
And we're great school, great Division III school, but it's not too conducive to walk around in your gold lame posing trunks in 18 inches of snow. And it was one of those moments. I'm a big believer in life is about moments. And my mom used to check in every day at college just to see how I was doing. And I've always had this, and I know you talk a lot about dreams and passion and all this great stuff like that. And to me, I'm a big believer, as I said, life is about moments, and everybody has a dream. There's so many folks who are watching and listening right now, who have dreams. And and find this true and kind of disseminate the way you want. But, it's always the people seems to be closest to you are the ones that seem to be negative, if that's the right word I'm going to use right now, because let me give you the case in point. So I get up the courage enough to tell my mom, instead of talking about poli-sci or English, I said, Mom, I'm going to go to California to become a bodybuilder. And there was silence on the phone. And all of a sudden, I hear, Herbie, my dad's name, pick up the phone and talk to your kid. I'm putting my head in the oven. And all of a sudden, all right, the bus ride from upstate New York to Baldwin, Long Island, felt like I was going from LA to Australia. It was that long. And I remember my father telling me, listen, you want to go to California, get it out of your system. I had a girlfriend who told me you're never gonna amount to anything. You're a fat guy. You're not gonna be Mr. America. And my friends all said the same thing, and I made the trek. I got here summer 1977 when the dinosaurs still roamed the earth. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lou Ferrigno, all the big bodybuilders, all the guys that I had in the magazines came to life. And I entered the Mr. Southern California contest, right? We all have dreams. We all have passions and pursuits. Mine was a singular, focused Mr. America, and that's the name of the deal. I entered the Mr. Southern California contest, right? I come in second place. The guy that beats me is on steroids. Now, wait a second. I read all the muscle magazines. Everybody said eat 18 eggs and 24 chickens a day, and you too could become Mr. America. I clucked a lot, Evan, but you know what? It never happened for me, but nobody ever mentioned steroids. Now, I'm going to tell you, we talk the truth because I think like in anything in my life now, I'm 62 years old. I've always been a believer in emotional, straight shooter, talk right to people. Everything I've done in my career, I look right at people's eyes. And I think you know the same thing too. You can tell if somebody's doing a routine on you by just looking at their eyes. And I've been blessed in my life with not the smartest guy on the planet. I was never a school guy. I was a street smart guy. And I could tell when somebody's doing a routine on me. Mm-hmm. And for me, my life was always about, okay, I'm just going to go straight ahead at this thing. So wait a second, steroids, no one talked about steroids. I'm 18 years old. I have my friends, my girlfriend, my parents all saying, you're going to come home. I had to make a decision. I have 4 kids today. I'm married almost 32 years. My great wife, Tracy. I've been very blessed, man. I have a daughter and 3 sons, ages from 28 to 19. They're terrific. And I've always talked about decision making. And I've always said to them as kids, if you have to think about something too long, it's probably something you shouldn't be doing. And when it was that moment in my life, once again, life's about moments, and sometimes there are great ones and sometimes there are not so great ones. This was a moment where I had to make a decision. Do I take the steroids or not? And the reason why I didn't was simple. I was afraid. I was afraid to do it. I remember in 4th and 5th grade, the nurse would give you those TB tests, maybe before your time. And they would just sort of poke you right there. Little progs. I would faint. So forget about putting a needle in my own battissimo, if you know what I'm saying, right? And I made this decision. I said, I'm not going to go back to New York, in my opinion, a loser. I'm going to stay in LA because I love what working out did for me. I love how I felt when I was exercising. It not only built my body, but it built my confidence and my self-esteem. And whatever's going to happen, I'm going to make something work. And fortunately for me, right place, right time. I was the first guy, and here was the moment, because you never know when that moment happens, which is why when I speak and talk to people, you always have to keep that uniform on, because you never know when the coach is going to say, hey, Evan, get in the game. And if you're not ready, that's the moment. That's the door open. That's when you have that shot to go in there and do what it is, whatever it is you want. And here I was training, I was exercising, doing what every good muscle head does. You know, I was bouncing in a bar at night. I was working out in the morning and catching rays during the day. Mm-hmm. And I was living in Studio City, California, right where all the studios were. And this actress had come over to me, who I'd seen a bunch of times. And she said, hey, you know, can I ask you a question? I said, sure. She says, I've got I've got a commercial I've got to do in about 6 weeks. I got to wear a bikini. Remember, this is 1979. Jane Fonda had just come on the scene with the high impact aerobic classes, and I was a bodybuilder. She said, could you come up with a workout for me to get in shape for this commercial? Now, Evan and everybody were listening. I was looking at this gal. She was great looking. She looked terrific. And I immediately said, you know what? It's not about how she looks. Mentally, psychologically, she was going to be in front of people, and she wanted to just feel better about herself. Mm-hmm. So I said, yeah, I could come up with a workout. And she says, well, listen, I like you, but I don't want to look like you. And I said, no, I'll come up with something. And what I did, I started thinking about what I was going to do. And she said, well, how much is this going to cost? And I go, I don't know, give me gas money for my 1977 white Camaro with Jake 77 on the license plate. As an entrepreneur, you always have to keep a very low profile, right? You know, right? And she said, could you come to my boyfriend's house and do the workout there? Gave me an address in Beverly Hills. I said, no problem. Got in my 77 white Camaro, off to Beverly Hills. I improvised a workout in my mind using a broomstick, a towel, right? Towel resistance training. If I were to give you, Evan, a towel to hold, and I would have pulled down on the towel and said, let's do some bicep curls. As opposed to giving you two 25-pound dumbbells, I could pull down on the towel and give you more resistance, but psychologically, it's a bath towel, right? And I made the workout fun, a 30-minute workout. I felt an A-type personality. And I used a broomstick, a towel, a chair, and 2 cans of Mama's tomato paste. Seriously, simple. Went to her boyfriend's house, knocked on the door, Beverly Hills. If you weren't on the cover of Musclehead Digest, I didn't know who you were. Guy answers the door, turns out to be Francis Ford Coppola.
Wow.
And I just looked and I thought, wow, hey, this guy could use a workout too. And it was.
Wait, you didn't know who he was?
I didn't know. No, I didn't know who he was. I'm a bodybuilder. You know, if you're not on the cover of Muscle and Fitness, I didn't know who you were. Mm-hmm. So I started working with these people, and they were really digging it. They started going to parties, and people started saying, "You look great. What are you doing?" This guy Jake comes to the house. He's got a broomstick, a towel, and a chair. He's pretty funny. You know, he eats too much because they had a great refrigerator, Evan. I got to tell you, I had no dough back then, and they had a great fridge. So I would sit down and eat and talk to them afterwards. And now one thing, what happened was this, really simple. Once again, life's about moments. People started saying, how do I get a hold of this guy? Well, this was back in the day when there was no cell phones, right? You had to list your telephone number in a phone book. I never did that. I went from upstate New York to LA. I'm 19 years old now. And one thing about Hollywood is if you're good and people want to get a hold of you and they can't, they seem to want you more. And it became this mystique of who is this guy? Get him. And I'm getting phone calls now on my little answering machine in Studio City in my 1-bedroom apartment from Steven Spielberg, Harrison Ford, Priscilla Presley, Bette Midler, Warren Beatty. I mean, the heads of all the studios. Everybody was anybody. And I learned the greatest lesson and the greatest teachings of all time. These people are no different than us. No different. The only difference is they had a dream and they never quit on their dream and never took no for an answer. And you know, Ev, that's what gave me all the incentive in the world to say to myself, you know what? I might never direct ET2, but I'm going to have my own success in life. And I was able to parlay that famous by association into videos and books and television shows. And all of a sudden, here I was in this magnificent time in the 80s, in this incredible place called Hollywood, in this great country called America. And it's the world lets you be what you make them believe you are. And Ted Turner is the guy that gave me my start on television. He saw an article on me in People magazine. True story. He calls. Oh, by the way, I moved to Westwood now, right? So now I'm kind of moving on up. I'm in Westwood. It's 1981, and I get a phone call from this guy, Ted Turner, who I call him back. He says he has this new cable news network, a global news network. Now, by the way, Westwood at the time didn't have cable. So I had no idea what this guy was talking about. Now, just give you a case in point. I'm training all these big stars, and they're casting me in movies.
Mm-hmm.
So John Landis is putting me in Into the Night with Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Pfeiffer, right? I'm in Tough Guys with Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas. I'm this guy from Brooklyn, man. I never took an acting lesson in my life. No, don't say anything about that. I play me. It's what I do. It's all I know. And I was having the greatest time of my life, and which is what I do every single day. And that's the thing that I talk to my kids about too. And for everybody who has a passion, it's never been to me about work. I don't think I've ever worked a day in my life because I love what I do. I know you hear about this and you talk to a lot of people. It truly has to be in your body every day, 7 days a week, 24/7. You always have to make room, which is important, which becomes the fabric of who you are, because I talk about you being a brand, and everyone needs to think and understand that. But for me, family has always come first. My wife, my children, first, number one. And anyone I do business with, if anyone ever says anything like, hey, Jake, I got to take my son to school, or I have to take my daughter to soccer practice, don't even say a word. Go take care of it. We'll talk later. There's plenty of time and plenty of room and plenty of moments for everybody to succeed. And that's been the way I've always done my life.
One of the things that I've loved about your story is the longevity and how you are still doing new things. One of my fears is being the aging rock star. I've been doing YouTube for 11 years and helping entrepreneurs for 20. And I always got a little fearful of the rock stars who then, like keep playing the hits from 30 years ago, as opposed to coming up with new stuff. And you're always doing new stuff. Like if you go to Jake's website, you're going to see all sorts of different playlists to work out to.
Yeah.
Just launched Don't Quit. I see the sign behind you there, which is a line of nutritional shakes. He's got there.
There it is. We'll
Don't quit.
We'll talk about this in a second. But listen, how about opening up your fridge in the morning and seeing those two words?
Don't quit.
Every morning, okay? And we'll talk about that in a second. But you know what, though? It's not about even reinvention. It's about, my life revolves around hope, health, and family. Everything that I've done, everything that I've created. So when Ted gave me my start doing the fitness break on cable news network, I was able to parlay that into television shows. I had a Body by Jake show and first run syndication, then ESPN. I got into the infomercial space, home shopping. I did books and videos. I did the first original video soundtrack to an exercise video in 1983, right? Because I was learning, because I was hanging with all these creative minds in Hollywood and the best of the best. And it was like, why not? What's the worst that happens? The worst that happens is it doesn't work. And by the way, I've succeeded a lot and I've failed a lot. And I know all entrepreneurs talk the same way. If you're not pushing hard enough, you have to fail. You just have to, you trip up. That's what you do. You got to keep pushing. That's what keeps your heart racing. I'm not a guy that likes to drive cars fast. I have fast cars. I don't drive them fast. I don't like to go skiing off of high mountains, I like playing stickball, bowling, ping pong. I love that stuff. Where I get my adrenaline rush, where I love the action, is in creation, is in creating something that wasn't there before to doing something now. Whether it was the first linear fitness television network called Fit TV, which I launched in 1993, which was a 24-hour fitness television network. If you remember it, it was great. I had an opportunity. I sold it to Rupert Murdoch in 1998, and then launched Exercise TV, the first on-demand fitness television network. And it was just success breeds success. And as an entrepreneur, I learned early, Evan. I know what I know, and the stuff that you don't know, you want to surround yourself with really good people, or else you end up a legend in your own shower.
What do you think? So, I mean, you started this industry, basically. You've seen so many people come and go, so many of your contemporaries who also built big names now, just kind of living at home and not doing it, but you're still doing it. New stuff. Like people may know you just for your shakes and not even
Right.
know the whole history, right? Because it's like it's the new version of Jake. Why do you think you've lasted so long and still keep pushing when so many of your most of your contemporaries have stopped?
Yeah, well, thank you for that. You know what it is? It's the energy and the action. And listen, I'm 62. I feel like I'm 21. I train every morning. I'm up at 3:45 in the morning. I'm in the gym. I do my 42-minute workout. My mind, I do a 42-minute workout that is both mind and body, where I visualize with every repetition, I visualize everything that I have to accomplish during this day. So I've already not played through what this interview was, but I thought in my mind of how this was going to go, where I was going, what's up next. I was a little late coming to you because we had two more early, and we thought someone had told me this was East Coast time or Pacific time. So I said, Evan's got to go. So we had to jump. But it's about just creating. And I love to create and to do it in a way. And this is interesting too, because when we talk now, I'm big. We all have to give back. Everybody, it's important. I love success, but I'm a bad taker. I'm a better giver. And the thing that I've been doing for the last 15 years, I put fitness centers in elementary and middle schools around this great country of ours. I started as chair of the Fitness Council in California here with Arnold when he was governor, and then with Jerry Brown. And this is my 9th year as chair of the National Foundation for Governors Fitness Councils, where each year I choose 4 states, pick up the phone and call governors cold. I have 3 brand new $100,000 Don't Quit fitness centers. And I call governors, and it's a gift. It isn't a grant, it's a gift. I explained to the governors, think of it as when you go to your grandma's house and your grandma gives you a toy or a gift, it's yours, right? Grants they're all tied up with stuff. And my feeling is, there was a great article on me, it was in the Wall Street Journal, it said, Jake is like Santa Claus, except with a 33-inch waist. And I said, well, 34, but I'll take the 33.
And he's from New York.
100%, man.
I love it, man. Listen, I know we're kind of getting to the end of this. I want to talk quickly about Don't Quit, your new line. Tell us what it is. Tell us where to get it.
Well, first of all, this is it right here. Well, guys, this is really important. You know, I've been doing what I've been doing for a long, long time. I had an opportunity, I was never a supplement taker, never a vitamin taker, and as we age, you need your nutrients. There's this category called adult nutrition, man. And there are a couple of brands in there right now that if you look at the ingredient panel on them, quite frankly, man, they're chemical based and they taste crummy. And it's, look, my mom is not doing so great. She's in a nursing home now. They try to feed her this stuff. And a lot of people get fed this really crummy stuff. People over the age of 50, especially right now during this pandemic, need to be mindful of their health, right? And what they're putting in their body. Nutrition is so important. I wanted to create a product, right? Like I said earlier too, and I say this to everybody, the world didn't need another nutrition shake, it just needed the best one. And I thought that the way to do it, let's do it with a clean label, 26 vitamins and minerals, no soy, no corn, no wheat, right? No added, all that other stuff, man, artificial sweetness, gluten-free, kosher. Oh, by the way, it tastes delicious. Chocolate, vanilla, chai tea, and orange-sicle. Now we have a max version, which is 30 grams of protein and 1 gram of sugar, right? But as you age too, a lot of people need to keep the weight on. Even younger kids want to bulk up a little bit. This is it. Here it is, Don't Quit. This is our original flavors. And as I said to you in a fun way, when you open the fridge in the morning and you see the words Don't Quit, how motivational, inspiring is that? The words I trademarked in 1981. True story. I was cut from my 8th grade basketball team in the early 70s, and it was devastating. And a friend gave me a poem called Don't Quit. At 14, I wasn't a poet. I didn't, it was like, what do you give me a poem about? And I started to read it every night, every single night, Evan, every single night. And it became a Bible verse to me. And in 1981, I trademarked those words. I kept the words sacred. I fought off all the big companies, and I thought that, quite honestly, that I would end up passing the word, the trademark, on to my children, because there was nothing that I wanted, that I believed in. So now I had books that were called Don't Quit and things, but not a product. And everything that I have my name on, it's my company. I own. Now I partnered with Keurig Dr. Pepper on Don't Quit, and a great company called LA Libations, incredible groups. But I wanted to make sure that if I was going to do this, the product needed to be awesome. Now, the sugar in here is pure cane sugar. So on our original formula, there is 14 grams of sugar, but it's less than the competition in this adult nutrition category. As I said, if you want less sugar on Max version and chocolate and vanilla, just go to don'tquit.com, don'tquit.com, super simple. Bang, 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 bang. There it is. There it is. Let me get it right there. Oh, wait, and there's my mug too, right there.
There you go.
So when you see it in supermarkets, it's really exciting. The reviews have been great. Online, we've already sold out of Chocolate Max. So get on there early. Tell us what you're thinking about. And this poem, which is important, and I think we're running out of time. I don't know the exact time, but I just want to end to let everybody know this poem is super special. It's called Don't Quit. As I said, I trademarked those words, Don't Quit. I didn't author the poem in the late 1800s, but it really goes like this. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learn. And many a failure turn about when he might have won had he stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Stick to the fight when your hardest hit. It's when things seem worst that you must not quit. Don't quit.
I
Devin?
love it, man. Guys, go check it out, don'tquit.com. When you open your fridge, you have one that says don't quit, and then you tilt the other one sideways to see Jake's face.
Yay!
There we go, pushing you to not quit too.
There it is. Hey.
I love it. Thank you, man. Thank you for the time. I love that you've launched this company, and appreciate the words of wisdom today.
Hey, brother, keep on keeping on, baby. Don't quit.
Much love. Thank you, Jake.
Okay.
Cheers.
See you.